Hey, Rashad, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. There's been a lot said and written about the young guys on this team recently. But what about the senior class, and how are you guys approaching the last three games of your collegiate career?
I think we're gonna approach it the same way we've been, finish this thing out. We started it, so we're gonna prepare every week and try to go 3-0 in our next three games. Take every game as it's your last one because you never know whether just in football in general there's injuries, and then with 2020 with COVID and all that, you never know what could happen. So we got to enjoy these last three games the best we can and go out there and play our best so we can get a W.
Rashad, have you made a decision on your future beyond this season? Obviously, you have the blanket waiver if you want it. Is that something you've made up already in your mind?
I mean, you never know. I guess we'll figure out after the last game. I don't know.
Rashad, what's been the best thing about your time at Pitt?
Uh, I mean, that's 5 years of my life, especially I kicked some over in a growing period from 18 to 23, a lot of things, honestly. I would just have to say it would be all the friends I made, and I found a lot of best friends that'll be at my wedding and stuff. So it would probably have to be that memory-wise, and then just on the field, growing as a player and be able to get myself to where I'll be able to take my talents to the next level to just continue to develop. So it would be those two things.
How are you a different guy than you were when you first got here?
I mean, I was fresh out of high school, playing high school football, not doing any type of technique, only had friends from high school, not people all over the country. I mean, you just get thrown in a melting pot. I mean, completely different, My mom told me I wasn't funny before I came to college, and now I'm funny all the time. When I go home, I make her and my sister laugh and get annoyed at me. So I guess that changed. I got funny since I've been in college.
Rashad, you've done the stand-up defensive end thing in the past. Has had Pat doing it last week. What makes that something that's useful to the defense, and what are the sort of the physical differences of pass rushing from a stand-up spot as opposed to three down?
I mean, really for defense, nowadays offenses love to run tempo offense. So it gives us the opportunity to get into our three-man rush without having to sub. Everybody knows our three-man rush on third down and delta is deadly, and offenses don't want us to get out in that. So it gives us the ability to get that rush going when they're going tempo, and also have, what it is, your best rushers, which is D linemen on the field coming in on those blitzes. And then, it's always fun to be a DN standing around, walking around and feel like the quarterback and everybody's looking at you trying to figure out where you're about to go. So me and Pat and John enjoy that. And the more we practice it, last game's the first time we really ran it a lot. So we're going to keep practicing that. And if it's called, we'll be even cleaner. And I think it really gives us the opportunity to keep making plays.
I think I saw you line up right above the center as a stand-up linebacker. Did you see that in the center's eyes? He was a little bit confused and didn't know how to handle that.
Yeah, especially, the centers, and you can hear them talking, trying to figure out what to do, and you just try to disguise it as best as you can because, they're smart too, so they're going to try to slide different ways and send running backs to pick up who's coming. So, you got to kind of mess with them and try to get them to guess the wrong way so we can make a big play.
Rashad, obviously the 4-game losing streak isn't kind of what you want, but for you personally, just in terms of the production you've been able to put out there this year, coming off of that injury, are you kind of pleased with how you've played and how this season has gone from an individual standpoint?
And I think this is something me and Pat we're honestly never satisfied. Like after I hate watching film on myself. Like I watched the film 3 times before I come watch it on Sunday, and I can make the best play of the game, and I just it like disgusts me. Like I nitpick everything, and I think that's just something Coach Parcher has really put in me and Patrick, and we're never really satisfied, even when we make the play, because it's something he tells us when we're freshmen that, it kind of like gets on your nerves or something, but you can make a big play in practice or in a game, and he's going to coach you on what could be better. And then, being a fifth-year guy now, we just see that, and we're just constantly trying to see what we can get better, even if you make a great play, because that's what it takes once you get to the next level. So, I mean, in production-wise, you can always say, yeah, it's been good, but I just know so many plays that I've missed and other opportunities that's always like I just feel like I've played okay.
Is that a mentality you and Pat feel you've been able to kind of pass down to some of the younger pass rushers on this team?
Yeah, definitely. I think Coach Partridge instills it in them. We kind of pass down to try to help them to understand it that they're not being attacked, and it's what's going to make them better. Like when we see because we've had it too when you're a younger guy, and you see those notes that you made a big play, but he's coaching you on what you can do better. Like, don't worry about it, just do what you can do better, and it'll pay off, and you'll have even more plays. So I think we really passed that down.
Rashad, you and Pat have been, two of the stars of the team for most of the season, putting a lot of the top stats up there. But recently, you guys have seen Servassier kind of shoot to the top of the charts. Now he leads the team in tackle for losses and one of the leaders in the country in tackles for loss as well. What have you seen in his contributions, both in stopping the run, rushing the passer, and how it's maybe helped you guys out a bit?
Definitely. We watched the film and we just talk about how he can get up so fast. He'll fall like three guys on top of him and get back up and make the play on a second effort. He's coming in there like a missile, and we always talk about taking our shot. He's great at running his feet and making guys stop their feet, and that's what you can always ask for as a defender, because when you just go and you don't stutter down and break down, you get rid of the ability for the runner to make you miss. And if he does miss, he's hopping right back up. He's not laying on the ground frustrated that he missed, hopping right back up in second effort. And he's made a lot of sacks and TFLs on second efforts. And I think it's just really cool to see him come in and do that. And like you said, lead the team in TFLs.
And follow up on that, it seemed like what you guys were able to do with stuff in the run, and then when you started getting after the quarterback against Florida State, that's when the chemistry started kicking in for the secondary. They started to make more plays in the ball. Can you talk about just the energy that you guys are feeling as a group, and maybe how you guys continue to feed off each other to take that forward into your next few games?
Yeah, I mean, from the football point, nobody ever makes a play by themselves. Kind of like what J.J. Watt talked about on his 100 sack. You can't get a sack without coverage. Even if you get a sack in 1.5 seconds, the back end covered their guys for 1.5 seconds. So if we're getting pressure, we need to help them back. We need to help them and feed them back. Get them interceptions, get them bad throwing balls, mess up timing, because they're going to help us. So we need to help them. So it's just the complete team game. And then on the celebration part, that was real emphasis for us. The first 3 games, we were in the locker room, we were excited we won, but we weren't celebrating like how we should have been. So that was a big emphasis for us. You've seen every play, whether it was a tackle, TFL, sack, or just an incomplete pass, we were celebrating all over the field, on the sideline, having fun. That's what it's all about. And that really does feed into the next series. And, you want to be the guy that's celebrating with your teammates. So everybody wants to make a play within the framework of the defense.
Rashad, as a senior, did you sort of take it upon yourself to keep everybody focused during some of the troublesome times in October?
Yeah, I mean, I think guys were focused. Sometimes from the outside in, it looks like things might be going awry, but we were always locked in on the bye week. There wasn't no worry or anything for the guys that were here, and we practiced. We had a good week bye week, got our legs and bodies back how they should have been, and had a good week of practice and came out and played how we should have played, but it's not always like that the past couple of weeks. So we came out and picked up where we should have been at, and I think we'll finish the season like that.
Anything final? Go ahead, Alex.
Is it true that blondes have more fun?
I don't know. Today's my birthday, so I'll figure out.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Rashad, you mentioned I'm sorry, a minute ago you mentioned that your mom said you're a funnier guy. So as a funnier guy, do you sort of crack up the guys at the beginning of your position meetings with a joke or two?
Yeah, sometimes if it's too early, I'm in there just watching the film, locked in. But if I had a good night of rest, we'll be in there cracking some jokes until it's time to get down to business. And sometimes throughout, when we've had a good solid 25 minutes of locked in film, we'll throw a joke in there to calm the room down, relax a little bit so we're not so tense. But the room is definitely full of jokesters.